Well, welcome back, YouTube. As you can see, I've got this 5.9 Magnum semi took apart. And it's not good, guys. I was hoping just to do like a little refresher to this engine and pop it right in that RAM charger and be good to go, but that is not the case. Well, one, there's a shit ton of sludge in here. I think this is a very high mileage engine. And two, there was a lot of water in the crankcase of this engine, let's just say. Every cylinder but one has a big nasty lip here, so that would have to come out. Where's a good cylinder we can? And because of the water getting in there, you can see all the cylinders have rust in them. You can see this is a 15-quart bucket. It's roughly a little over half full right now. And this is what I pulled out of the oil pan. Now, if you factor in what I probably dumped on the floor there and what I dumped out on the ground when I pulled the engine, I probably have enough fluids that was in this engine to fill this bucket. I didn't even realize that much fluid could fit in this engine. I haven't found anything that looks that egregious of how all this water made it in there. As you can see, it was probably never really maintained all that well anyways. If you see all the sludge built up in here, I don't think that was necessarily from the water. I think that was there, and when the water got in, it just made it worse. But I could be wrong. I'm not an engine expert. All the head gaskets looked fairly good to me. There was nothing too egregious. So I was kind of looking, and the only other way water would get in from the coolant system would be from the water pump. Well, you know, I was just thinking it maybe could have gotten in through the intake gasket too, I suppose. So I really didn't look at that gasket when I took it off. Well, I didn't keep them. I threw them away. Shit. So did they either get in through the intake or it got in sitting a couple years? And I find that hard to believe it got in sitting outside, because it was a complete engine. It was. I don't understand how water would have gotten in otherwise. I've seen plenty of other engines that were stripped down more and stored outside that never got water on, and the amount that was in this thing. So if it wasn't from the intake gasket, I think the only other plausible explanation is that truck was flooded out at one point. But I don't know. I mean, the fluid in there definitely seems like it has coolant in there. So it's not just lake water that made it, or whatever made it into the bottom here. So I don't know. Maybe it got into the intake. I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point because I'm not looking to build an engine or have machine work done right now to an engine. I got other things kind of going on in the background. I was just looking for a quick solution to upgrade that engine in there, because that 318 in there, it's going to have to be pulled anyways, because it's leaking from several spots that need to have gaskets changed out. I was just thinking I could do a refresher on this, pop it in, and be good to go, and send the 318 down the road, because I'm more of a fan of the 360s anyways. Otherwise, this would be a halfway decent engine though. To have a lot of machine work done to it and really build it up, but like I said, I got this 360 back here from my Dart that's all built up, and actually that's what I will probably end up putting in that Ram Charger for now, because I am kind of curious, because that's been sitting for like 10 years. It'd probably be nice to put it in a vehicle and run it instead of just having it sit there in the corner like that. Other than all the rust on the rockers and all that, the heads don't look too bad. They don't have none of the cracking that Magnum heads usually get. I'm gonna put you down a sec. Usually Magnum heads, from what I've been told, will crack between here. And it looks good on this side and this side. Both heads pretty much look the same. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this motor up on Facebook and Craigslist and send it down the road. Just because I really don't want to store this thing. I got a storage bin that's overflowing as it is. I really don't need an engine that's probably going to realistically sit around for a couple years before I even do anything with. So that's the update on this 5.9. We're just going to send it down the road and move on to the next idea. I'll talk to you guys later.